Hello, welcome, beautiful people. Thank you for joining me tonight for What Women Want. And tonight I have a beautiful guest on, and we're so super excited because tonight's episode is all about becoming self-sufficient. And so, if you're watching for the first time, I'm Kelly Wilkins. I have the beautiful Alecia Green with me, and Alecia and I first met in January, and every January I take my team for a retreat, and we spend a couple of days really looking at mindset, business goals, and developing ourselves. And so Alecia runs a gorgeous retreat on, I'm going to say the Central Coast, but that's probably not quite right, is it, Alecia?
It's Port Stephens hinterland.
Beautiful. And so I'm going to get Alecia to tell you more about what she does, but what we did there was Alecia runs an equine classes and horticultural classes, and so we got to really learn about ourselves through these equine classes. And so Alecia, can I get you to share more about what you do there, and then I'll tell everyone about what we experienced. So
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So our journey started probably about 5 years ago. I found myself in a bit of probably not a positive environment within my work. So I took a little hiatus overseas for a couple of weeks where I was able to just chill out and remove myself from everything. And while I was over there, two things came to me. The first thing was that the way I was living my life was not a good way to live. And the second was that there must be other people out there feeling the same things within their work or personal life. So it became my mission from that point to be able to create a place in Australia where people could come and really connect with themselves and others. And on a personal, sorry, that's my daughter in the background, on a personal and a professional level. So I brought all my passions together, and I went and did my equine assisted learning facilitator course in 2018, I think it was. And we set up our property, and we're running classes for women and team building events, personal programs as well. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, so we got to stay on site. We had gorgeous, beautiful rooms and a kitchenette and just this whole gorgeous space to really connect as a team and to really feel connected to not just each other but also the earth and life. So so can you tell everyone about how the equine classes work?
Yeah, okay. So we work in small groups of 2 to 4 people per horse. Everything is done from the ground. So there's no riding involved and there's no prior horse experience required either. So we team up with our human partners, and then we team up with one horse. And we go through what it is to communicate and understand a horse and how they're going to speak with us, but also very much so about the energy that we bring to the arena. And the energy that we bring when we're working with our horse is very much reflected by his body language. And so through working through some obstacles in the arena, participants can actually learn how to adjust their own behaviour based on how the horse is reacting. So if we're bringing fear or we're bringing anxiety, the horse is going to mirror that in a way. So when we can take control of those emotions and redirect them, ground ourselves, do a little bit of breathing or yoga, meditation type exercises in ourselves, the horse will really change its energy as well, and everyone moves forward as a team. So it's about those self-development and learning moments that are so beneficial, in our personal or professional life.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the way that Alecia showed us is that we got to, at the end of it, reflect on our experience, how we our communication style, what worked, what didn't work, and who's the best teacher is the horse is the best teacher. And so we learnt about ourselves through that method, and I'm ever so grateful because it's helped me tremendously communicate, reflect, notice in myself. So if you ever get a chance to do that, guys, when it opens up, and I know people who are watching, Demet who was there, Linda who was there, beautiful Becky, and Jazz who was there, they're all going to vouch for this and say what a wonderful experience it was, and they have their own stories to tell, definitely.
Well, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful few days that I got to spend with you guys. So yeah, very grateful.
And then on top of that, we got to do yoga as well in that gorgeous space that you have there. So we'll put some details at the end for where you can find Alecia and her gorgeous retreat. And I recommend everybody do it. Later on, actually, because we did that, I actually took my family back and had my kids go through that experience, and it's really interesting seeing the kids do it on that perspective as well. So so that's, you know, I saw it on the current affair that kids that are having eating disorders, so I'm saying kids, but, you know, adolescents who are having eating disorders really benefit from this equine therapy, I guess. And so from so many different aspects or you know, levels can people benefit. So do check it out.
100%. Everything that we do in the arena is all paralleled back to everyday life. So it really doesn't matter how old you are or how young, there's always something to be learned.
Yeah. So now the reason I have Alecia on is because in her horticultural expertise, what we are, I guess, experiencing now is, and my new passion is about learning about how we can be more self-sufficient going forward. So, you know, when you are healthy and you have a healthy body, you have a healthy mind, what's the last thing you need is a doctor, all right? Because you are self-sufficient in the way that you look after yourself. You know, you've got good routines, you've got good basics down, and hopefully, you know, we're keeping the doctor at bay. But so I start there, and anyone who knows me knows with Arbonne knows that I work with people and gut health. It affects your mind so that you can think clearly. And now I know a lot of people are going through struggles like, you know, finding themselves more dependent on government or jobs, for their jobs or for their, you know, money coming in the door and things. And so I want to help people figure out how we can be less dependent on others and more self-sufficient when it comes to food. And something that you've done really well, Alecia, is start to grow your own produce
Yes.
and even though you have property, you don't need a big property to get started. So I wanted to have a talk about that. Tell us a little bit about what you've done and what you're and really what is the benefits to being self-sufficient?
Yeah. Well, being a qualified horticulturist and coming from a background in commercial horticulture, when we moved out to our property, it was my my grand idea that I was going to set up this huge veggie patch, and I really did. It was 400 square meters. And in all honesty, it was just too big and too much to manage. And it was a huge sigh of relief on me because I put so much effort into it and time when my husband said, should we just abort mission on this? And I said, yeah, please.
Knowing when to cut your losses, right?
I can't do this. So, you know, my background, commercial horticulture, right? So everything that I guess I know how to grow really well is in pots and above ground. And So we grow all of our food. I'm just going to have this one here.
Avocado.
So we grow all of our food in pots and tubs and very small planters around the house because it needs to be close if you're going to harvest it. If you've got to walk too far away and it's cold or it's really hot, you're probably not going to do that, or you're less likely to want to go and do it. So it has to be convenient for me, number one. Having everything close. Sorry, I'm just.
Yeah. Introduce us to your little one.
I've just got Alecia here. Oh, how about we go?
See, this is how you do mum life, like having, and I love what you're talking about, having it be convenient, having it be central to your everyday life makes it doable. And if you're trying to overreach, then it's not going to work. So yeah, everyone will relate to that completely. Yes. So
don't try and overcommit. That's my biggest advice. But we grow our lettuce in a wheelbarrow outside our back door. We grow our strawberries in a small planter. We've got silver beet as well. I've just put in, I love August. August is a fantastic month for planting everything because the weather's starting to warm up for us. We've pretty much had our last frost. So it means that everything is just going to start flourishing. And if you can get it in August, you're going to get good roots down and good established plants to go into the summertime. So we'll have tomatoes by October, November, which I love. And yeah, we do cucumbers and pumpkins and things like that. So it can all be done from a small space. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So another thing, we grow parsley. I love parsley and tabbouleh. So we do it in a big tub, probably 40, 50 centimetres big, and I put a whole packet of seeds in there and I just flush all the parsley up and I harvest as I need it and it goes for months.
Great. All right. So I want to take notes. So what grows, so if you're a budding beginner grower and you're worried about it really turning out, the simple things to start growing, and would you recommend growing from seeds or growing from like small planters or like, do you know what I mean? Like seedlings or whatever you call them. Yeah.
Yep. I think if you get your seeds in early enough, as in now in August for summer, then that's a nice way to go. But there are things that I also like to buy from the shop or from Bunnings. And that's because it might be seed that I can't get my hands on. And I brought this in to show you. This is one of the tomato varieties that we grow. It's a mini Roma, and it's actually a commercial variety. So it means that it's going to have really good fruit production, and it's also actually a nice compact one as well. So great for patios, great for small balconies and small spaces. So sometimes you can't get that advantage by, always in seeds. They could be slightly larger varieties. So that's why I like to perhaps buy some things from the shop first. But as a beginner's guide, I would start. This is a fantastic tomato. It doesn't get many pests or disease. I've got other ones that do. This one seems pretty good. And so a nice compact tomato with small fruit, and it's some lettuce or some parsley, spinach. They're all really easy things to grow.
Right, beautiful. Lettuce, parsley, spinach. I'm writing that down, grabbing my pen. And then there's some things that you can actually grow from the fruits and vegetables that you buy at the shop, right? So so spring onions are good like that. You can just cut off the tops and just plant those.
Yep.
Pumpkin
seed is what I do. Yeah.
Okay.
So my pumpkins and capsicums, save the seeds from capsicums.
Right.
Yeah, they're the two that I collect from the store. What else could you do? I tell you what is a hard one, but if you can do it in winter time, coriander. So love it or hate it, If you sow your seeds in March, you're going to get some really great coriander production right through winter. Stay away from it in summertime. It's just too hard to grow. It goes to seed and you just don't get a good crop. So the other thing that we do is we grow to the season and we eat to the season. So in season, don't worry about it. Just let it go and wait till the right time to grow.
Beautiful. What about, I guess, like I was thinking about if you're on a balcony and you're watering runoff, like do you need to do catches or things like for runoff? How does that, just for people who might have a bit of trouble with that?
Yeah, okay, that could be a tricky one for balconies. You can get saucers for the bottom of your pots, but if you watering, I guess if you look at where people might struggle with growing plants, is water 100% every time. It's either too much or it's not enough. So how do you know what is the right amount to give to your plants? So, I was talking before that the horses communicate with us and we have to learn how to read that language. Plants do exactly the same thing. So, if a plant's starting to get thirsty, it might lose its luster. So the shine would disappear. That's the first sign of dehydration.
Right.
Think about when you're when you're dehydrated, you lose the luster in your skin. It's the same with the plants, right?
Okay.
So that's number one. Obviously, number two is the droop, and then number three, well, you're flat on top, and maybe some
that's obvious. Dead.
You've really done it then. So you want to catch it when it gets that luster, when you lose that luster and it goes more of a matte finish. Give it a really good soak. So water more, less often. So
okay.
Good drink. Yep. What we call it in the commercial horticulture world is the wet-dry cycle. So you want to really fill it up with water and then let it dry down, because what's inside your root zone is actually also air. So the moment that you fill it up with water, you've lost all your air, so the roots can't breathe. So if it's constantly full of water, there's no oxygen going to those roots. So you have to let it breathe.
Right. Well, that's good news.
Yep.
That's good news for us who don't remember to do things daily. We can just have like a once or twice a week kind of a watering plan.
Good drink. You can't just give it a splash. That won't work. You'll definitely end in trouble. So in saying that, when you're on patio, the way that you could achieve that is you could drop your pot into a bucket, let it soak, and then pull it out. You can have the saucer underneath and catch the runoff.
Great.
But tubes of water here and there, that's you're not going to get the best production out of your plant, put it that way.
Gotcha. Love those tips. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then what do you do now? See, the other thing that I'm starting to coach people on is you don't have to be good at everything. You're better off choosing a couple of things that you can be good at, and then deciding to get to know your neighborhood, who's in your neighborhood, and having some people that you can swap goods with. So tell us how you've been able to achieve that.
So our neighbours, they have chickens, and it was always my dream to have chickens, but we've got a dog that doesn't like them. So I had to resign myself to the fact that at the moment we're not going to do chickens. But our neighbour has got plenty. And so we often do food swaps with our neighbour, and we swap them some veggies for the eggs. And it works really well.
Beautiful. So this is the thing that I feel like, the more we can connect to the people around us, and I love the way that you've described, you don't have to live on a big property to have this kind of lifestyle. And actually, it's kind of more beneficial that we are closer together, because like if you know more people who can do this cooperative kind of lifestyles, we are in communities where neighborhood is just there. It's not like a kilometre down the road, and so if you can find the people who are willing to swap and trade and to work with you in this lifestyle, I think that we become much more connected as a people, but also, you know, I want to future-proof ourselves. And so getting to know, getting good at one or two things, like, and even skills. So if you know someone who's good at building, or if you know someone who's good at, you know, speaking, or, you know, like, you can trade skills, you can help each other. And this is what I've been doing for quite some time on this channel. People will know that I bring other people with skills on to share with this community. And so I want to encourage people to do that, trade off skills, and you don't have to be good at everything.
Yeah. So, and can I just add, when coming back to the plants, so, you know, if you're, for example, you want to grow your lettuce in a wheelbarrow or a big pot, you might fit, you know, I've got 12 odd lettuce in my wheelbarrow out there. I can't eat 12 lettuce already. But, you know, if someone wants to do lettuce and another person wants to do carrots and another person wants to do tomatoes, everyone can do a crop and then just trade.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. So, if anyone's watching and you have questions, please type in your questions. If anyone has done this before and you've worked it out with, you know, for yourself, and you've got a little bit of skills around planting or creating whatever it is, and maybe you'd like to trade your skills, I'd like to be able to set up a link here in a community that we can start to build. I'm doing a lot more on Telegram, so if any of you who want to switch over, in Telegram is a really great, it's kind of a messenger type of service. If you haven't checked it out before, I do recommend that you get onto that app. And I do have a group in Telegram, it's called Food Storage and Supply, so there's some more ideas in there about how you can be future-proofing you know, our situation. And I think that as we do this, we become more confident in ourselves, in our ability to you know, make choices that are right for us. Yeah. And so if anyone would like more information on that, please reach out. And I will also love to put your details, Alecia, into the chat, so that anyone wants to access your equine services or horticultural skills, we would love to do that.
If anyone's got questions, give me a shout out. Happy to lend a hand, no worries.
Oh, because we took up like the Airbnb. I don't know if that was a thing that I just did, or if that's a thing that you're running.
Yeah, so we have our equine programs that we run for, like, women's wellness. We have our Airbnb, we have our 3-bedroom cottage on site, and obviously we have our venue as well, which we can do yoga and meditation and that sort of thing in. So yeah, it's a bit of a holistic approach, and we just want to bring people together and connect. That's the goal.
Beautiful. Well, I might just pop up some photos of our time there with you too after this, and so everyone can see what we're talking about. So, but thank you so much for being on with me tonight. It's been wonderful. Yeah, it's been lovely. So, we'll say goodbye. And anything else you want to add before we say goodbye?
Don't be afraid to have a go. Just, you know, I guess I've made plenty of mistakes, and it's the only way to learn. So once you make a mistake, you know the direction to go. So just get your fingers in the dirt and start planting and growing. And August is a fantastic time to plant. So yeah, get into it.
Love that. And can we say hello to your Bubba?
Oh, yes.
There she is. Hello, gorgeous. This is the one who wants to be known. Hello. Lovely. Thanks everyone for watching. Stay well, be well, and see you all again very soon.
All right, see you.